Antiquity Unveiled, the most marvelous revelations of the 19th century concerning the origin of Christianity. Constantine the Great. Oh, and this is by Jonathan Manning Roberts. And the original title, mentioned the spirits. But it is not a pleasant duty to communicate with you, nor would I perform it, had not a band of spirits fettered me with the truth. A spirit dislikes to destroy his own fame, or the name he left behind him here on earth. Remember, one of the Egyptian names for the soul is the Run. But since I am compelled to speak, I will say exactly what the other speaker said. I possessed a valuable library. When I became a Christian, I destroyed it. I was a fanatic, and was governed and influenced by fanatics. And what has been stated to you here by a long line of spirit witnesses is true. The four Gospels were originally Buddhistic Gospels and were written in an ecstatic state by Deva Bodhisattva. They were mingled with Platonism by Potamon. This is the true account of the Christian New Testament, and the day will come when it will be openly acknowledged, for the evidence of it will be so great that through some medium, if not this one, the original Buddhistic Gospels, which are extant today, in spite of all the interpolating and destroying, will be discovered in India. I curse my fate, and I curse those spirits who forced me here to tell the truth, for I am so constituted that even after these long years in spirit life, I would rather lie than tell the truth. I was known as Constantine the Great. Constantine the Little, the nothing here today. I lived 337 of the Common Era. And yeah, if they were cursing themselves but don't curse yourself. Certainly you want to become blessed. So as long as you're, but think of how you react to others, and that can be where some of this would come from. Refer to McClintock's and Strong's Cyclopedia of Ecclesiastical Literature for the account of Constantine the Great. It was the spirit of this great and successful Roman emperor that was forced by the power of truth to come back to earth and confess the destruction of ancient writings that would have rendered the continuance of the Christian religion impossible, as it was but a modified form of the Buddhistic superstition. More than this, he is forced to acknowledge that truth has power to overcome the most obstinate religious bigotry in spirit life, and force the latter to serve it instead of being obstructed by it. I have no doubt of the authenticity of the communication, and therefore regard it as quite important. And so you wonder why it is called the gospel. Obviously, there's as many as four different, each of the gospels could have a version of a particular element of the Jesus story or whatever that does not relate, that does not agree with any of the other three. So it's obvious that there's not one gospel, but could there have been a unity? But where the unity I mention would be to say that unity as in there being only one religion. The various priests and countries trying to make us think that there were different religions because they have altered religion to their ethnocentric ways. And now fanatics. Fanatic comes from the Greek word phanom, which is to mistake the temple or the individual or whatever, or the statue, as being the god itself. So therefore a fanatic, and it doesn't always have to be in worship. You can have a prophet being mimicked, but not followed, not caring about the principles of such an entity so much as just mimicking the form.